Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Charlotte from @Charlotte's House. I am so excited to share this tutorial with you. I made this last night. It took 45 minutes. Arm knitting is all the rage, and guys, it is so easy. Stay tuned. This is the yarn that I'm using. I'll include a link in the video description. The first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna measure your yarn, and you need, for my giant blanket, I did about 10 arm lengths, but for you guys now, I'm just gonna do maybe 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're gonna tie just a slip knot. You've done this 100 times before. Just one of these guys, okay? Now, to cast on, you're gonna put this, I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna start with this in my right hand. And you'll notice that you have quite a long tail, and then you also have the length of yarn that goes to your ball of yarn. So you're gonna hold, with your left hand, you're gonna hold the ball of yarn, and then I'm just looping it around my thumb, okay? Now, I'm gonna take the tail of the yarn and I'm gonna hold that in my pointer fingers. I'm gonna show you that again. So this is the length of yarn that goes to my ball. I'm looping it around my thumb, and then with my pointer and middle fingers, I'm holding the length of yarn that is the tail. So now my right hand is gonna come in. So my right hand is gonna go through this loop on my thumb. Hi. And then I'm gonna grab that tail and pull it back through the loop. See how that makes a little loop there? I'm gonna put that on my hand. And I'm gonna pull it tight a little bit. And I've just made my first 2 loops. This is the tail that goes to the ball. Loop it around my thumb, and then I'm going to grab the tail. I'm holding it between my index and my middle finger, and then with my right hand I'm going through the loop on my thumb. I'm grabbing that tail piece and I'm pulling it back through, and then the loop that I've just created is going right on my arm, and I pull it tight. Okay. The mistake that I made the most the first time I did it was that I didn't have that yarn wrapped around my thumb the right way. So notice again, I'm pulling the yarn and then I loop it that way. So if you make the mistake and if you loop it like this, that's the wrong way, then look what's gonna happen. When I go to stick my arm through and then I pull that, there's nothing. So that's why you go around. So it's counterclockwise. You want the end of the yarn to be sort of tucked under. And then when I put my other hand through, that loop isn't falling apart on me. Okay, let's get knitting. This is my right hand, and essentially what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move the yarn over to my left hand and create a loop as I go. So this is my right hand, this is where all the yarn is to start. I'm gonna hold the end of the yarn, not the tail. This is the piece that goes into the ball. I'm gonna hold it with the same hand, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that first loop and I'm just gonna pull it right over. Now you see how I'm left with that? That's gonna go onto my other hand. At this point you wanna kinda tighten it up as best you can. It's a little awkward, but see what you can do. I'm gonna repeat, so I'm gonna hold that end piece in my right hand, and then I'm just gonna pull that loop over I now have a new loop. Put it onto my other hand. So I'm holding the end piece, and then I'm just pulling that yarn over, and then I'm putting the new loop on my other hand. You see how it's a little bit longer? I've just built that row. I'm gonna repeat the same thing. So I'm gonna hold the end piece, and then I'm gonna slide the loop over, and then that new loop is gonna go on my other hand. I pull it tight. Same thing, slide the end over. That new loop is gonna go on my other hand. It is surprisingly easy, you guys. You can do this. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment in the video. Okay, I want to show you how you cast off. Obviously, you would keep going until you have a big, luscious blanket, but casting off is super simple. You're going to start like you're just knitting a new row. So you hold it, make one loop, and then a second loop. Okay, you see how I have two loops now on that other hand? I'm gonna take that first loop, and I'm gonna pull it over the second loop and off of my hand. So that second loop stays on your arm. And you'll notice that it won't fall apart. I'm gonna show you that again, because now I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna knit one more stitch, pull it over, put that new loop onto my other arm. I'm gonna take this loop, pull it over the second loop, and let it go. You want to do this loosely so that your blanket it's not too tight at one end. So here we go. I'm going to do a stitch, put it on my arm, take that back stitch, pull it over the front, and let it go. Last two. So I'm going to loop this around. Now I have one left. For this loop, I'm going to bring my yarn, pass it through, pull it tight, and then I can cut that tail. This is the arm blanket that I made last night. It took me under an hour. I am not exaggerating. I cast on about 28 stitches, and I went through all 10 balls of yarn that I had, and you can see it is enormous. This will fit on any bed. It is so comfortable, so cozy. When I reached the end of a ball of yarn, I just tied a little knot, and then I could go ahead and tuck those behind. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day, everyone.